Today is the day that the futures contracts start trading on Bitcoin, new line. Now, the primary price action has been on Bitcoin. The primary focus has been on Bitcoin. As I've been saying to everybody that can listen to me, or that usually won't even listen or gets too scared, that Bitcoin has to go up because of the way that it's structured, new line. I cannot tell you how many people I know who have said it has to fall. They told me that it had to fall at 5,000. They told me it had to fall at 8,000, at 9,000, at 10,000, and now it's sitting at above 15,000 US dollars. Mathematically, Bitcoin is designed to go up, especially when there's a lot of demand. Now, the Bitcoin futures are badly designed. They have circuit breakers. In other words, if they fall by too far, things get shut off in your line. As a result, they may not have much effect on the market because the market trades in a lot of other places elsewhere. So those who wish to sell in the physical market will go elsewhere. They can't shut down the distributed exchanges around the world. New line. At the moment, this is not advice. Cryptocurrencies have unusually high risks and have unusual risks. The risk is that mostly the risk that has been most of the risk that has been in the cryptocurrencies has been the risk of missing out in being in the cryptocurrencies, particularly Bitcoin, new line. You could take or leave Bitcoin Cash, you could take or leave Bitcoin Gold, but if you did not own Bitcoin and do not own Bitcoin in this inflationary world, outside of Bitcoin, Bitcoin is the one that is showing what the inflation is doing around the world, new line. At the moment, I'm seeing lots of Americans complaining about how you used to be able to go to the movies for $7.95, new line. I know during the GFC, you could go to the movies for $5. So we have inflation in a lot of countries in asset prices. And now Bitcoin is showing is that, one, there is a limited supply of sellers. In fact, almost none in the Bitcoin market. That there is inflation in the US markets and depreciation of all of these currencies against probably the one pure currency that there is, Bitcoin. Regulators and exchanges want to get in on the act, but they won't be able to do that because Bitcoin goes beyond borders and knows no borders, new line. And that cryptocurrency does not mean profit. Bitcoin means profit. Bitcoin, BTC USD, new line. We have seen our first doji for a while. A couple of times we have seen a doji in the past, like over here. The market has kept going, new line. And we can see that it reached a high of 15,820 in Bitfinex. And in fact, Bloomberg's was reporting that it had broke through $15,000 before Bitfinex had, in fact, traded above there. Most of these press to new highs and a pullback on the press to new highs appear to be buyer reluctance rather than seller coming out of the woodwork, new line. There was a good hit on the last 4-hour bar of volume, but the reality was the close wasn't much different to the open, and we can see it taking off again, new line. There just are no sellers in Bitcoin of substance to suppress the overwhelming demand for it, new line. The general public are finally trying to get in, new line. And on the charts, I can't see anything to say that this is ending. It seems to respond to no overbought or oversold situations. With the advent of the futures contract, it may slow down. There may have been some purchases of Bitcoin for the reasons of being able to short off it, but at the moment we just don't see it, new line. What you're looking at is the one-day chart. The previous thing I thought was a fifth wave was really a creeping correction, new line. Or a running correction, more precisely. Meanwhile, back at Bitcoin Cash land, we see that BCH USD is about to hit the bottom of the band, or at least is retesting some lows on the daily charts. So we might start to see some buying come in around about the 1,000 area, or you could buy some now with a stop loss below 900 and hope for a rotation back up to 1,800, probably not more, new line. BTG USD, Bitcoin Cash, gold, this could get down to $160. You can see that there is selling of this and buying of Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the strongest, new line. DSH USD, new line. This is in an area where you could think about buying a little bit with a stop loss below 600 and look towards maybe a rally towards $800, new line. EOS USD, new line. I've been saying that this could wash out down to $3.80. In fact, it washed out very nicely down to almost $3, new line. I would have liked to have seen it down there because it will start to take off again, in my opinion, new line. We probably expect a churning behavior in this point of our lives for this one, new line. If you are long, have a stop loss below $2.75. ETH USD, Ethereum. A fairly great disappointment, but it is now into some support. So if you wish to buy Ethereum, this would be the place to do it with a stop loss at $390. For good reasons, it's not as popular as Bitcoin, new line. In other words, they produce too much of the stuff, new line. IoT USD. This has come back down after its big run up. It's gone all the way back down to 3 and then come up. So this is in a correction and it will go higher eventually after it's gone sideways for a while, new line. LTC USD, Litecoin. This also had a flurry down. It also found support and is a buy with the stop loss below $84, new line. And you would buy it if it crossed above $100, new line. NEO USD, NEO. This also got down into some support and it is a buy with a stop loss below $25, new line. Our BTC. This did make the approach to new lows. It's going sideways at the moment. There was some good buying come in that level. And it is kind of overbought, but I would say best thing to think about would be another low. Needs to clear above 0.0004 of a Bitcoin before going higher. With good conviction. XRP USD, Ripple. It had the washout. I think it's probably okay with a double bottom now and should run back up in its pesky little range in its own little pond towards 24 or 25 cents, new line. Zed Cash. A very similar story. And at the moment, we can see that this is doing some interesting stuff, I must say. Probably goes lower unless it clears through $320. Here endeth the cryptocurrency event. Got any questions, just ask me on the profithunters.com.au website. And now we'll adjourn and we'll come back for the currency, Forex and other things.